turnout just going down like that? Just slowly declining. Why, Matiria? Why?
I think it's up to us to inspire people to come out and vote. We need to make sure that people know that they can make a difference. And certainly it's September 20 this year. We have a genuine chance to change the government, and we should take it. Yeah. But it's also we don't have civics education, so lots of people are still very confused about what MMP is and how it works because we don't teach our kids about it. There's a lot of gaps that we have.
You were once an anarchist, weren't you? Have you always voted?
No, I didn't vote. Until people stood who represented me.
Really?
No, I wanted to vote for people who actually were like me. And it took MMP to come along before I saw people like Nigel Taxos.
Who was that?
Nigel Taxos was the person that I voted for because he was just like me. He believed the same things I believed in, and he talked about the issues that I had. Well, he didn't look like me, all right. But he believed the same things, and he talked about the same things that were important to me. Now, that is my challenge now as an MP, to talk to young people and to everybody about the issues that are important to them and represent
You
those.
did a bit of work on this, didn't you?
Yes,
I mean, you know the subject quite well. So why is voter turnout, particularly among the youth stats are quite something?
Yeah, they are.
Why?
They are a worry for young people. In fact, historically, what you see is there has been a downward trend since about the 50s. But when people sense there's a change election, it goes up again. So it's not a completely downhill thing. But I agree with Materia. It is up to us as politicians to get out and inspire the voters, and in particular to get in front of young people and to tell them why it matters.
All right.
But I do also think that here they've got a very strong choice to make at this election. There are lots of different alternatives on offer, and so I just want to see everybody take an interest.
I would point out that youth not voting, a lot of people traditionally think that affects the left, more than the right. But actually the studies show that young people, when they are forced to vote somehow at gunpoint, tend to distribute their votes, evenly across the range. So it should be of concern to all the parties. Are you going to vote?
Yes, I am.
You're going to vote for Labour, eh?
No, I'm not part of Vic.
Oh, you're not part of Vic Labour. Awesome. Okay. Are you part of any of the parties?
No, I'm not affiliated.
Why is it you think that young people don't give a toss about politics? A lot of them, like 500,000 of them that aren't going to vote.
I probably agree with Met. I think civics education is pretty important. I guess I'm pretty lucky because I have really political parents, but they encourage me to be critical, so I'm not going to vote necessarily for who my parents voted for.
Met, you mean that? Is it?
Yeah.
Right, you're on first syllable names, first syllable terms with the leader of the Greens. Cool.
I just wish I was.
What about you? What is it that makes... How old are you?
I'm 21.
What is it do you think for a start that a lot of your friends who are 21 really don't give a toss about politics?
Maybe not as much don't give a toss as can't be bothered with making an effort to bother about it.
Who's got really briefly one quick answer as to what would solve this whole thing?
I think really relevant policies like, cheaper bus fares for students or warm, healthy homes or things like that.
Or maybe more expensive bus fares for students, depending on which side of the divide you're on.
That just really make a genuine difference to young people in New Zealand, and that's really important in terms of getting out the youth vote this election.
What about the sort of people, what about the sort of people that, do you look at the people that are in Parliament and think, oh yeah, I can relate to them, or do you need more sort of dreadlock, skateboard riding, Nandor Tanchosh type people?
Yes.
Well, I don't have dreadlocks and I don't ride a skateboard, but the people in Parliament generally don't represent me, no.
And what?
They're generally older, they're generally men. They're not like me and they don't have policies that apply to me a lot of the time.
I think people think that politics is something that's done to them as opposed to something that we're all part of, and that would change with civics education. And it is our responsibility as politicians to be relevant and be talking about issues that matter to people of all different age groups.
Compulsory voting, yes or no in New Zealand?
No.
Compulsory voting, yes.
No. Don't create laws for the most marginalised people to then fail.
No, I don't think it works for New Zealand.
No. What about Australia?
Well, they're Australians.